Now this week we're looking at the social housing crisis in the Midlands as part of a countrywide project on ITV. A report by the Joseph Rowntree Foundation found that more than 1.5 million people were living in destitution in the country at some point last year. That means they were without basic essentials like somewhere to live that's warm and dry, enough food to eat and basic running water.
They're calling for major changes in the social security system to ensure that nobody in the UK is left without the bare minimum to get by on. Jane Hesketh has been talking to homeless people in Coventry and Leicester.
At this makeshift drop-in centre for the homeless in Coventry, they can get something to eat, a hot drink and hopefully some help. It's run by the charity Crisis and the emphasis is on the practical.
It doesn't matter when you bid, it's on priority. But with 9 properties this week, there is going to be more people bidding for the properties that are available because there's only 9 properties, do you know what I mean?
Tracy lived on the streets for 3 months. She's now in a hostel for people with complex needs. She comes here every week to put a bid in for a council property, so far without success.
It's a bit of a struggle. There's only 9 properties to bid on this week. We have to bid on properties every week and it's just not losing the faith really, just keep bidding and hoping somewhere will come up soon.
Her partner David's been living in a car park in Coventry on and off for 4.5 years.
Unless there's some kind of a new policy brought in or some affordable housing offered to people like myself, I just can't see anything in the future, like, you know. I'm making do because I have to, like, you know, I don't have any choice in the matter, and I do the best I can, like, you know, it's as simple as that.
David and Tracy tried renting privately in a property that accepted welfare claimants, but it didn't work out.
Some of them got no flushing toilets. There's rats in some of them, you know. It was just not safe at all. It was a step backwards. We thought we were getting off the street, but it just set us back, you know. And people kicking the doors in and all sorts. Very, very poor accommodation.
It's a precarious and risky way of life. At least 100 homeless people have died in the UK since last October. Tracy says she's noticed more people sleeping rough.
There is a lot of people sleeping on the streets in Coventry, you know. It's, I know we've won this City of Cultural Award, but it just seems that students are being housed and we're not, you know.
There could be some good news on the horizon, though, for Tracy and Dave. The West Midlands is one of 3 areas in the country where the government is targeting rough sleepers to find them stable and affordable accommodation. Coventry should get around £2 million.
We've got huge pressures in terms of the numbers who are homeless, not just with rough sleeping, but also the number of families that we've got in bed and breakfast and temporary accommodation. I know here in Coventry we've got 280 families in temporary accommodation. In Birmingham, up the road, they've got 500 families, and it's an ever-increasing problem. And I actually think it's going to get worse with the introduction of universal credit.
This woman has just come out of prison and is sleeping rough in Leicester.
I feel broken-hearted. I've got nobody because my kids have to live with my family because I don't want them in care, and I can't be around my family because that puts my children in danger because of my ex-partner coming and bothering me. So it's all just swings and roundabouts all the time.
John's been sleeping rough for the last year. He says once you've reached rock bottom, it's hard to get up again.
And just to get ID, and you need ID to get a job. It's just a vicious circle at the moment. I mean, I'm injured, like ill at the moment, so I can't work at the moment, but I am normally like work, you know what I mean?
So you've got a problem with your leg at the moment, haven't you? Would you mind showing it to us?
I can't get the tissue off, it's stuck to it. It hurts.
When you live on the street, you can feel invisible, but sometimes fate intervenes. Jimmy spoke to ITV Central last winter when he was living in this garage in Leicester. A Good Samaritan saw his story online and offered him a place to stay and some work in Leeds. It gave him hope for the future, and without it, he might still be living here. Jane Hesketh, ITV News.
The ITV Evening News is on after us.